All right, in the previous episode, we went through the mathematics where you could use the rise time of an oscilloscope to measure its bandwidth. And if you want to measure your oscilloscope, you need to have a rise time circuit that is faster than your oscilloscope and something you can trust. And so I've done several videos on creating fast rise times. I had some fancy board that did a super fast rise time that I characterized on a 70 picosecond rise time oscilloscope and anything. Today I wanted to use something you can just go out and buy. And so Leo Bernard had approached me and said, hey, I did a video once on one of their clocks that was GPS synchronized, and they said, hey, would you like any other things? We really like your videos. And so I said, yeah, I would like one of your fast rise time generators. And then they said, which one? Now, I hadn't looked in several years. They used to have a little BNC with a little PC board on it, and you could pop that on your scope. But now they have 3 different versions of rise times, and I thought this one would be great. This one is the LBE 1321. It just came in the mail today, so let's take a look. Got a little thank you card. Yeah, so it comes with a couple adapters, a BNC adapter and a female-female SMA adapter. And it comes with a charging cord, a USB-C charging cord. But this is the device, and this is pretty cool. Let's take a look at that one. Yeah, so look at this. Looks like a little dongle, right? So you could charge it up, so it's battery powered. Maybe it's not battery powered. Maybe you have to power it up. Yeah, I guess you have to power it up. You have to supply power. I'm sorry, well, it's not battery powered. So that's what this is for. And then this is the generator. Really cool little device. It says it's a 30 picosecond rise time pulse generator, 30 picoseconds. So that should be faster than your scope, I think. And then it can output pulses, 30 kilohertz to 300 megahertz. I think you can talk to your PCs, and I think there's an application program where you can modify the settings of this thing. So we'll have to figure that out. But I think this is going to be great. So for our oscilloscope, we'll need the BNC adapter. Put that on here. Let's get a wrench out. I'll put it on. There we go. Nice and tight. And yeah, so let me go figure out. Should we try it without the software, just to see if it works? Yeah, why not? And then we'll figure out what the software is. Let's go ahead and power this thing on, and we'll plug it on to. Let's see, I've got channel 3 available right now. I've got channel 3. All right, let's power this thing on. Let's see if we get any pulses out of it. And I don't see any pulses at all. Auto scale. Oh, no, it found something. Oh, channel 3, I forgot. Going on channel 3. Okay, so there's channel 3. We do have a rise time. And we do have a little bit of ringing. Maybe it needs a 50 ohm load, so let's do that. Let's see here, 50 ohms, okay. And yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Yes, very good. Yeah, there we go. Look, with a little ringing on both edges, very nice. I like that a lot. So let's zoom in all the way. We are at 50 picoseconds rise time. Let's make it big. And then let's turn on a measurement. Let's see here, measure. Channel 3, we want rise time. Add rise. All right. We are getting currently 430 picoseconds. 430 picoseconds. And if we use 0.45 as our 0.5 over rise time as our bandwidth, we come right out here at a gigahertz, right? I wonder if we can add math to this thing, to the measurements, and have it actually display that. I'll have to investigate that. This machine's too fancy for me. I haven't learned it all. There's all kinds of stuff built into it. But yeah, there we go. So we are, the little box claims 30 picoseconds, and we're getting 400 picoseconds, right? So it's much, much faster than the scope. So the limiting factor of the rise time is the bandwidth of the scope. And it is very, very close to the 1 gigahertz that we would expect. Let's go ahead and slow the scope down. Let's tell the scope it's only a 100 megahertz scope. And then we should get 1/10 of the rise time. And yeah, so now instead of before, we have now 3.9 nanoseconds of rise time. So that's about a factor of 4 difference, right? I mean, a factor of 10, I'm sorry. A little bit different. All right, here's the program that you can download that controls the pulse generator. You can control the pulse frequency and the amplitude into 50 ohms, okay? And these are the default settings, which is 100, let's see, it's available on the machine here. Let's see if I can read it off. It is 30 kilohertz to 300 megahertz. So this is 100 megahertz is the default here, all right? And if I go out a bit, you can see both of these. So if I change the frequency and I'm going to double it, and then our frequency doubles over there, or I can just make it slower, okay? And click this, and it got slower. Oh, it got slower over here. There we go. And then the amplitude, we could, this is 1.161 volts. So let's change this to, does it have 1 volt? It must, right? Other, yeah, 1,000. So let's set 1,000. So this should be 1 volt peak to peak. Let's change our trigger level. There we go. Let's turn on some markers. There we go. We'll set this to the flat spot on the top, and we'll change the bottom one to the flat spot on the bottom. And we're reading 990. 990. Can I get these any more accurate here? Right about there. Yeah, right about there. 9925, so 1 volt, right? Very, very good. All right, so I don't think it's really necessary for the types of measurements we're making to actually fool with this. It doesn't really matter. So we'll go ahead and restore default settings, and we'll just live with that, and then we can turn this off, and we'll just go look at some measurements. So this is very interesting. I went into the oscilloscope and I changed the bandwidth, and then I measured the rise time at each one of its settings. And then I calculated the ratio factor, the magic 0.35 number, 0.4 or 0.5 number, and it does kind of match. And there's some are 0.35 and some are 0.4 and some are almost 0.45. So it depends on the digital filtering inside the oscilloscope. And as you go faster and faster and faster, you're relying on more and more digitalness. And so that's why it's reaching up to around 0.45. But down here at the lower regions, their software filters are probably mimicking Gaussian filters. And so you're closer to this 0.35. Around here, it's about 0.3, about 0.37 is where they kind of, now, There is one outlier, and that is this weird 40 megahertz. And let me show you that. It's interesting to me. All right, let's take a look at an. Let me turn the measurements off and the markers off. There we go. So when we change the speed, we go into here and we can say, instead of being 1 gigahertz, let's make it 100 megahertz. Okay, so now we're at 100 megahertz, and you can see that things are still looking pretty uniform. If we go to 50 megahertz, things are still looking pretty uniform. But when we go to 40 megahertz, it goes funny. Now we have this roundy bit. The falling edge is also a roundy bit. And if you take a look at the language on the oscilloscope, it's very interesting. We have bits, and then 40 megahertz, it says analog, 40 megahertz analog. So I don't know what that really means as far as hardware is concerned. If you know, let me know. It sounds as though it's operating in a true analog fashion, or I don't know. But anyway, it's the only one that's funny in there. And the ratio factor ended up being 0.26. So very strange. I need to investigate that more. So yeah, so these pulse tools are great little devices to test things like this, right? And then when we go back to 20 megahertz, we're looking at something more normal. Anyway, very, very interesting that the 40 megahertz number is just a bit odd. Yeah, the 40 megahertz analog. I should make a note of that in my Excel spreadsheet. Analog, whatever that means. Anyway, there you go. So thanks again to Leo Bernard for sending this into the channel. I think it's going to get some good use here. Can you see that? It's as small as I go. It's an LBE-1321, 30 picosecond rise time pulse generator, 300 kilohertz to 300 megahertz, 1 volt peak to peak into 50 ohms, and we saw that you can change that a little bit, and you can change the pulse frequency quite a bit. And yeah, it's nice and tiny, a couple adapters. Yeah, very, very nice.